So there we have it. In the last few months, we've had 4 Chancellors of the Exchequer. Yes, we've had 3 Home Secretaries, 2 monarchs, and now our 3rd Prime Minister. Yes, September's loser is now October's winner. Rishi Sunak is our new Prime Minister. I can almost hear you cheering from here. What does it all mean? Well, Boris dropped out. You could feel the support ebbing away from him over the weekend. Even his former employers at The Spectator and The Telegraph were saying now is not the time. He said in his statement that he had 102 MPs supporting him. Well, you can believe that if you want to, but he's been quite well known over the years for being economical with the truth. If he thought he had a shot at being PM again, in my view, he would have gone for it. But he says, no, I put country before party, meaning he can have another go at some point in the future. So it's Rishi Sunak. What does all that mean? Well, you'll hear a lot about stability, that Rishi will bring stability. Quite right, it's exactly what he'll bring, a continuum of all the policies of Conservative governments for the last 12 years. The tax burden under Rishi has gone up to the highest since 1950. It will go, with no doubt, Jeremy Hunt, the great globalist, staying in place. It'll go to even higher levels. The war on the self-employed and small businesses will continue. Bear in mind, from April the 1st, corporation tax up 6%. Remember, your local laundrette pays corporation tax. Dividend income, which is how most directors of small limited companies pay themselves, up 1.25%, and the vicious IR35 rules to stay absolutely in place. So nothing will change there. We will continue with low growth. We will continue with low productivity. But it's okay. The markets will like it. The pound will rally a bit, and we'll call it stability. The cross-channel catastrophe, which of course the Border Force themselves now say is a threat to national security, that will continue. Oh, by the way, yesterday, 80 young men landed on a beach near Dover and disappeared into the countryside. Last I heard, 60 had been rounded up, 20 still on the run, including one charming young man who broke into a woman's house in Aycliffe in Kent and demanded a phone and wanted money to get to Birmingham or Manchester. How lovely. What a nice start to a Sunday morning. Nothing will change on the channel. On Brexit, well, we will continue with more and more people being disappointed about Brexit because it's frankly not being done. Nothing is going to change. That is their definition of stability. But here's the big reason why Rishi is a disaster for the Conservatives. He cannot connect with ordinary working class voters in the red wall. Hey, he spends more heating his swimming pool whilst they can't even afford to heat their homes. Not necessarily that being rich is a disqualifier, but he can't even go and talk to people. And there's nothing wrong with being a teetotaler. But can you imagine Rishi sitting down in a working man's club in Doncaster and talking to the gang? I can't, and I'm sure you can't either. There's no humour, there's no humanity. He may be respectable, he may be decent, he doesn't have the pizzazz. You can kiss goodbye to the red wall. It's gone. Virtually every one of those seats has gone. And in terms of the Eurosceptics, in terms of those fighting for Conservative principles, all of that is also out of the window. You'll get none of that with Sunak. This pretty much guarantees a Labour government, despite the fact that it's led by the lifeless Sir Keir Starmer, a man who can't even describe what a woman is and won't say whether Eddie Izzard should be put on an all-women's shortlist. I mean, you really couldn't make it up, and yet it's all falling into Labour's lap. The deep frustration is the first past the post electoral system, and just what do we do? How do we fight back against this given the system we've got? I don't yet know all the answers to that, other than it needs some really big names to step forward. So it's Prime Minister Sunak, it's carry on as you were, nothing will change, nothing will improve, and the Conservatives are doomed.